Hello and welcome to NN Driven. We are on an ad hoc run up to Pennsylvania today. We have about 100 miles to get up and then 100 miles back, so that'll be an excellent test. Well, we're at 495 trying to get across the river and just capturing this quick little segment showing FSD doing its thing in stop and go traffic, which it does so well, and just takes so much stress and anger out of the process of sitting in this kind of traffic. Okay, here we're just going to watch how FSD handles this merge in with cars continuing to push up. We're continuing to move forward. FSD is going to move over. Oh, nice. There was a little gap, so it just got out of the way. Oh yeah, just a great example of just the increasing nuance by which it handles these weird converging scenarios. And here we are in heavy but flowing traffic, and FSD continues to just do its thing. Haven't had to engage or intervene at all on this trip so far. We're just getting started though, so see how things go. Got a nice little slowdown coming here. It's already reacting, already slowing down. The van here was slowing, but just perfectly comfortable. If you were in the passenger, you would simply have no idea. Oh, look at this nice reaction to the Toyota pulling into our lane. Very smooth, very elegant. You'd never know if a human or the machine was driving. Perfectly done. Still stuck in tons of difficult traffic trying to get up to Frederick. Didn't get out quite in time for the afternoon rush. And but the thing I wanted to mention here is that FSD has been doing a really nice job of just kind of doing its thing and not ping-ponging between lanes like the old versions used to do. Every time there was the tiniest gap that would like go across. It's just been hanging out, doing its thing like you would expect it to do. Of course, I'm in standard mode, which is my normal operating mode for FSD. So just, yeah, nice. Comfortable, relaxing, and if I were driving manually, I would not be relaxed, that's for sure. Okay, we have 1.7 miles to our turnoff to northbound 81. We're in dense traffic here, and this is a good example of where FSD can sometimes struggle about knowing when to get over. So we'll just zip through here and we'll see how it does. This exit up here comes very quickly, and there's no real opportunity. It's not like it's a long exit lane. It's kind of there and then it's gone. So 0.9 miles. Okay, plenty of room up here so far. There's some gaps. There you go. And over we go at 0.7 miles. That is a perfectly legitimate and correct action to just be in this correct lane and ready to go. I would count that as an A+ in this case. The construction makes this exit even a little more unusual. All right, we'll just follow this Audi. Turn signal nice and early. Nice and smooth. Then we got to go with the split here to the right. Audi goes straight. Way around we go. Okay. Let's see, no traffic. Well, there is some trucks coming up here. Another car coming on another merge. We got another merge to go here. Perfectly smooth. This Ford is going slow. So blinker on nice and early, and we are right over, accelerating into the lane, and we're now at our auto max. But now we are doing the flying wedge here until we see what this lady does. This is one thing I don't like about auto max, is it can let itself get kind of, cornered here, as we're just kind of sitting beside this person who ended up going the exact same speed as us. FSD is deciding not to get over here, but the Ford behind us is not. They're actually falling away. So It's not like anyone is waiting for us to get over. We are sitting on auto max at 10% over. We've got a Suburban who wants to get by us here. No doubt about it. And we are now blocking this Suburban. Don't create flying wedges, not allowing others to get around and never getting out of the left-hand lane. Yeah, that's a good example where sometimes it can let itself just get stuck. Maybe it has to do with auto max. So not a safety in any way, but certainly a very inconsiderate driver right at that moment. All right, we have less than a mile to our exit for this brand new supercharger. At the moment, we have pretty heavy traffic, not a lot of gaps. Let's see how we do in, okay, it's getting, the other car just moved over to the right lane. That's good. We need to be another lane over. Okay, that did that fine. All right, we are leaving Chambersburg. I'm gonna head over to Fort Littleton and visit that supercharger. And I decided to set the speed offset in FSD back to the recommended 40% over, and just gonna see if it behaves any better or worse than it has previously done. Right, did a nice move there with that very blind turn. I felt pretty comfortable with that. Right onto the gravel road. Didn't realize I was going to be going up a gravel road today. But it's positioned well here in the center of the lane. That's where I would want to be. Speed feels good. Move to the right there for that blind turn. That was nice. Onto an even worse gravel road. Slowed way down, 11 miles an hour, feels good. Very nice speed for this road. Again, right in the center. Speed limit 25, we're going 20, so that 20 feels very nice actually. Creeping up to 25. Seems reasonable. It's a pretty smooth gravel road overall. No big divots or anything. Blind turn. Oh, very rough too. Okay, down to 10. All right, there's supposed to be a lookout here somewhere. Stopping, even though there's no stop sign, was the perfect decision there. Again, this is a comfortable speed. I wish it were a little more left here. Oh, it got back there. All right, let's see how we get out here. Okay, Clear over there, it looks like. It's good. Yep. All right, that was perfectly done. And then we're 35 miles an hour here. I've still got 40% overset, so let's see where it settles. Yeah, it's good. It's a very kind of rough road here. Wavy. Very nice through here. Pretty comfortable speed. Running below the speed limit, which is fine for this road. I'm sure locals drive faster, but we're not local. Okay, we've got a narrow bridge coming up here, no oncoming traffic. Does look like it is basically 1.5 lanes. Okay, looks good. Back into our lane. At 40, this is a nice comfortable speed here. Road opens up a little bit. Down. Kind of blind here. And we're slowing way down. Nice. Its eyes are actually higher. They're way up here, so it has a better sight line than I do. Lots of growing shadows here in the late afternoon sun, making for some odd visibility, but FSD is not having any trouble at all, staying right where it's supposed to be. Signed 25 mile an hour turns. Yeah, pretty rough. Slows down to 25. Kind of encroached the yellow line there a little bit, but nothing too bad. Certainly would have been time to react for anyone coming around. Okay, hard 180 to the right and uphill. Okay, got good sight lines for it. Kind of disappearing lines here. Oh, look at that! Right in the sweet spot of the lane. Perfect speed. Okay, coming all the way around again. Nicely done. Right on the yellow line, right where I would be. Perfect. Still climbing. Picking up speed here. Speed limit's 35. Just shy of 40. Feels perfectly comfortable. Feel the car pulling uphill. Love those electric motors. So we've got a big pick 'em up truck coming on behind us. We'll see how quickly he catches up to us. All right, I see a downhill sign, so we are in fact at the ridge line here. Staring into the sun here. Truck's reduced gear, nice job. That was blind over that hill where that turn goes. It's amazing how many turns are like that. Perfectly executed. Right on the speed limit here. Downhill. Now we've got regen running us, holding us back. Very comfortable speed here, coming up to a very tight left turn, it looks like. Really tight. Okay, coming down the ridge. Very comfortable. Pick 'em up truck still not catching up to us. Nice view ahead of us here. Just a little bit of regen holding us back at this point. Pretty straight, so it feels pretty comfortable. Here's this really tight turn. We are slowing down. I can feel it. It's coming down a little snaky here, and then we're going to do this hard left. Okay, goes a little wide, pulls around. We're nicely done. We're right there. Perfect. Very nice. Oh, this just feels so comfortable. Obviously it's going slower than someone would that's trying to drive really aggressively down here. These are fun roads to drive fast, but that's not how an autonomous car should drive. It's just super comfortable. Way better than previous versions of FSD, which were really kind of erratic on these kind of roads. Often very slow, just not very confident. This feels just rock solid confident, like it exactly knows what it wants to do. Car coming here, another relatively narrow lane. Oh, it says yield to oncoming traffic, but freaking you can't see oncoming traffic. Holy cow, what the hell are you supposed to do there? It said yield, but you literally couldn't see over the hump. FSD slowed down pretty nicely. Oh, that was weird. Speed limit 35, is it going to come down? No, not really. Oh, I hate that. Why doesn't it slow down for towns? It's the stupidest thing. Like, I hate that. If that's how everyone else drives, then this is an area where FSD needs to ignore the other training data and find training data that's right. The pickup truck never caught up to us. That's a nice little sort of gauge of how well FSD is doing, especially on twisty roads, is just how do other cars compare around you. Wow, it's just really amazing how now just comfortable I've come with this in just a few minutes compared to every other version. I would just really be hyper focused. This feels a little slow, but I'm not going to complain about that. Still probably faster than some people go around it. It's wallowing around a little bit, trying to find a common radius. Could have been a little better. Start recording. Okay, we got a really oblique. I can't see anything, but of course it has a camera that makes that trivial for it and hard for a human being. Start recording. There, we just had an oops there, just completely missed that was a left turn lane. Wasn't particularly dangerous, but Okay, we have a town coming up here, 25 mile an hour speed limit from 45. What does it do? Okay, it detects the 25. It is slowing down this time, but way too slowly. Okay, so then it got down to a reasonable speed here. We are still set up to 40% over. So my guess is this is about what people go through town here. But it really needs to be down to the speed limit by the speed limit sign, as I have understood it to be for my decades of driving. Wow, look at this neat little town. Where are we? McConnellsburg, Pennsylvania. Love getting off the highways and the interstates and the tollways. All right, the trip is coming to a close. Will be about 260 or 65 miles or so at the end of the trip. Just went north to a brand new supercharger opened today at Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, and went across some small roads over to Fort Littleton to visit that supercharger. So lots of interstate, lots of U.S. highways, state roads and little mountain roads. FSD did spectacularly. I disengaged once just because it was being discourteous, and I wanted to report that to Tesla, but that was just a purely optional disengagement. Other than that, closing in on 300 miles, a whole variety of interesting scenarios, and I didn't really have to touch it. Coming back, I had the speed offset to Tesla's recommended 40% over, and it did really well. Went a little faster than I would like in some places, but generally it was keeping up with traffic, and it just goes again to reinforce just where we are as a society and just how fast people drive on the roads anymore. I mean, it's just 70 feels like the base speed anymore, even almost no matter what the speed limit is posted at in that area. Pretty wild. And FSD kind of just matched those limits. The one area where it still has problems is entering little towns where the speed limit goes from like 55 down to 35 or 30 or 25, and it just goes barreling into those towns. Over time it tends to slow down, but it really needs to be down to the speed limit at the speed limit sign. And because there are a lot of towns, beyond safety, there are a lot of towns where cops sit right there and just it's a money-making machine. And so I don't know why Tesla doesn't address that. To me, it's a really glaring gap at the moment, just like potholes are a glaring gap. But other than that, I mean, I'm just kind of in awe of where FSD is these days. I've been driving it since 2019, and it's gone from janky to somewhat good to pretty good, and then all of a sudden with the latest 13.2 branches, just spectacularly good, and 13.2.9. I don't know. We've been on this version a while, but I swear it is getting better even without version number changes. There are things that it wasn't doing that it does now. It seems to learn, like if you tag things, like use a blinker to command it to where it should be getting over, the next time you're through that area, it seems to be doing better. It's I can't say that with 100% certainty, but it sure does feel like it is learning from user input in a lot of scenarios. All right, with that, we will sign out as we chug down GW Parkway here in all of this construction. And again, 13.2.9 is just handling it like nothing, where every other version just could not handle being on different sides of the road and these narrow lane markers, and yeah, and it's just drives it like a human. Pretty amazing.